Triple clap. How we going, team? Let's start with some thumbs up, preferably not in trifectas, as I introduce you to the Friday night stream show, the end of May. Kaz is here, Lauren's here, just above me lap. Dark times, missing the herd. Felt like that time is going so quickly at the moment, yet production is down at an all-time low. Is it your fault? No. Is it mine? No. It's life.
Yeah.
But here we are on Friday night, and there is no way I would have felt better by not streaming. And I do have 375 excuses to be here tonight. And bam, sponsored by Coca-Cola. I wish it was.
Yeah.
But then I'd be just spoilt, and then I'd wish I was sponsored by Tubes.
Yeah. And would you even remember us when you became a big Coca-Cola sponsored YouTuber?
I would turn my back on everyone if Tubes came back and said, Kaz, you're with us now.
We've got to start that campaign.
I do. I've already got some ideas for a video.
Right. We should definitely do it. Should we say hello?
Let's do it, because tonight there's not an overall agenda.
All right.
You know, so let's do that. It's about you tonight, and I don't mean female sheep.
Yeah, oh, that's good. Folks in the chat have actually already suggested a subject if you could talk about it. So, and I think it would be interesting for them.
I think that's fantastic.
Jay Magnifico, Freddie Cars is here with his spanner. The Super Silver Spanner's ready. Jay Hayes is here, of course.
He's always here. West Side.
He's cracking me up. He's so funny. I laugh too hard at his jokes. And then we've got Carl P with the 3 thumbs up there.
And let me tell you, do you know where Carl P is right now, as we speak?
Where is he?
He's having a Chinese cuisine with extra MSG for Lincoln. You know, him and his son are having a daddy Sunday, mentoring while watching the stream and eating as much MSG as they can put in their guts. Can you get me some Wuhan duck while you're there?
Come on now. Joss Cull is here, and have you got the little book ready?
We have got the mysterious green invisible book.
Yeah, partially invisible book, the sparkly book.
What have we got?
Okay, we've got Joss Cull has got an enlistment date for infantry, the 5th of July.
Oh, Joss Cull.
Yep, Joss.
Joss Cull. And you're going in with the drunk Aussie. What better person to go in with?
That's so good.
Yeah, let's go in winter, the coldest time. Fantastic.
At least he's in good company.
He is in good company.
Joshua Fawns is here. Mr.
Josh.
Patterson is here.
Mr. P.
JP is here.
Sniper.
Yeah. He's walking around like Mick Jagger doing the rooster at the moment because Noah's got his first bite.
Well, this is for JP.
I am out here for you. You don't.
What's
here for you.
We choose truth over facts.
Never go for retard. Come on, man.
Well, that just went to shit.
Did it?
Yeah, it just broke up. Hey, we've got Casey Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, Baker's man. Can you make me a cake as fast as you can? Here we go. Nutsu Cow, thanks for joining our online military, where you can't necessarily find us on YouTube unless you go back 4 pages. But you're welcome here, mate, and you're going to be a corporal in a month.
Yeah. Osby B here, and Stoddy is here too.
We need a medic. What are you going to do without a medic? Can we get some thumbs up for Casey Baker? It's almost Kaz there. You know, for Casey Baker in the chat, in groups of clusters of 3, to let him know that he is welcome. This is the place where he gets to ask the raunchy, spicy, and controversial questions that make the microphone go crazy.
We've got the Super Slav is here.
We saw it before. Super Slav came on and became a member.
He just said, "G'day, sorry, I'm back in the chat." And we've got Casey Baker says, "Evening from Singleton, Kaz."
Someone's sucking the suck. And look who we've got here. You can't see his number. Sniper Harry is trying to ring me as we speak, but I can't answer. We're in the middle of a stream. He's one of the master snipers from the 2nd Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment. He is also the curator historian at the museum there. when you go there, if you have a problem, if you have a hurdle, if you need the wisdom, if you never want to come up short, you go to Harry, because he's tall to the point of awkward. But he will help you out, and he'll be goddamn honest, and he'll help you all the way to the end of your dramas.
Yeah, and they run a really good Facebook page. If anyone's on Facebook, they should definitely go and give it a like, because there's all sorts of interesting posts to keep you amused.
There is. I wish I had more time to do it, but when I get on Facebook, my Facebook just goes insane when people see the green dot.
Yeah, exactly. But there might be folks out there who've got a Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You do what I do and just ignore folks.
Look at who I can see.
Just have to get used to it. Okay,
It's Chongo.
Yeah, there's Chongo. Chongo. Yeah, Keely's here too.
Hey, Keely, how you going, love?
Yeah.
Guess who else is wanted to be here, but at the moment is getting ready, I believe, for the march out of Kapuka, is Kim Mills.
Oh, yes.
Iran is getting ready to march out. He's made it.
Him. Then does he go on the board? Haven't you got a board for that?
Yeah, we have got a board downstairs, the parade ground board, which is for all of those that successfully march out of Kapuka and etc. But we haven't been keeping it up to date. We should.
Yeah,
Yaros.
exactly.
Damn,
Yep.
the
Well,
kebab.
then, it's become a thing that lots of three now.
It is. Mark Zamp, go and wash your hands.
Yeah. The subject that everyone was wondering about was that, like boxing in the army. Someone didn't realise when I was talking about boxing before, and I was explaining why John Paul was so proud, and how there's battalion boxing and that. Do they still do that?
It was gone for nearly 20 years. It went for a long time because there was some horrific injuries. I think it happened at 3RAR, but now a level of combatives has come back.
Good.
But the battalion boxing was fantastic, because what it was also done was used as a discipline tool, that if you got involved in fights, hitting people from your own battalion, wanted to be a bit of a knuckle man, then sometimes you got put into the boxing night to fight in front of 1,000 mates, so they could see what you were made of. And there was always someone to step up and say, yep, I'll take the guy on. It was some of the most entertaining, vicious, talented brawling that I've ever seen. And it allowed some people to step up and go, don't want to get picked on anymore. I'm going to go and train for a few months, go in the boxing night, and after that, no more problems came.
Yeah, there you
Controlled aggression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good way to express how you're feeling.
And JP, it's funny, for a sniper, he was a great boxer.
He's a great boxer. Yeah, absolutely.
And we don't mean removalist.
Yeah. No, he's not so great at that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, so what other sports might there be that folks could partake in?
In the military?
Yeah, other than, boxing and that.
Well, sport is a major thing in the military. Okay, but there's a downside to it. There is the upside that it allows battalion on battalion, the rivalry, the camaraderie, whatever. But there's also the politics that I don't like, where officers get to play beside soldiers, where there's no rank on the field, and mysteriously the soldiers that play the most sports get all the best positions, get all the best promotions, all that, because they can call Sir Mike when he's on the field, and that naturally carries on off the field. And sometimes sport is made a priority for some over doing their actual job in Tully, high range, live fire activities, courses, etc. Gotcha 1208 is a member. Can you let us know what the significance of 1208? It sounds historical. Gotcha 1208. For that, I'm going to dedicate the opening of a can of Coke. 1208. Oh, this one's to you, my friend. This one's to you. Thank you for becoming a member. So good. So good. No fake news with that. I should have to drink Pepsi until we actually hit the 10,000, which is less than 30 subscribers away.
Maybe a Brussels sprout a day, every day, until you hit 10,000.
I will eat. No, because then everyone will stop or unsubscribe to watch me keep chewing.
I want you to eat more. You're right.
Yeah,
Right.
there's Satan's testicles.
Yeah, no incentives like that.
That's what I see them as, Satan's testicles. Brussels sprouts.
Come on, I like to eat them. Don't put me off them.
Look at Keely. going all girl power over there. Hi, Lauren.
Yeah, because we are. She's a member of the Ladies Auxiliary.
Yeah, I know. I see her.
Her and Jodie, and Brettie's just an honorary member of the Ladies Auxiliary.
Yeah, there they are. There they are. They need it back. Sounds similar to what the British Paras do. Look, the boxing is a fantastic thing, you know. And the one thing that boxing is good over martial arts and a lot of those other things is it teaches you to get hit. In the American combatives, you have to get actually hit before you actually are allowed to fight back when they do their combative modules. And the other thing that a lot of people don't know about the American military is that in the combat arms is that you need to be qualified in combatives up to a certain level, and you have to get to that level before you can go to the next rank as well. So you're not going to really have any fugazis, fake diamonds when it comes to those in rank. And everyone knows when they see someone at certain ranks that this guy is kind of the real deal, you know. But, you know, they didn't go very well against Bravo Company, the 2nd Battalion in the Royal Australian Regiment back in 1996. We sort of dished it up to the Marines, and they copped the hiding and spent most of their time laying, you know, face down or back down on the bitumen beside Kaz, who didn't last long either.
Aww. He's got a great idea. He thinks you should eat an asparagus a day until you do it, because then you have smelly wee then.
Asparagus looks like a slave's dick. I'm not gonna. I can't do it.
What are you saying? Or what do you mean?
It's disgusting.
Do you eat anything green?
No, not really. Old tubes. Hey, we've got Rowdy B here. For everyone that's looking down there, how good is getting hit on the snout? Rowdy B, he was in my section in Rwanda. You know, he is now a scientist. You know, now he gets into eradication of predaceous animals and pests in Australia. He's going to get rid of the first Tassie devil that breeds successfully.
Look what he's just said.
I'm joking.
The Battle of Flinders Street, 96.
That's right. Many a man hit the ground that night. That was one of those ones you will fight, the first law of Fight Club. And I tell you what, those Marines would have been thinking, who the frick said, let's throw down with these guys? They didn't know there was an entire rifle company of Bravo Company, the 2nd Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, that had just got back from Rwanda and had nothing but anger in their souls. And so when someone said it's on, that pub, Tats, emptied out, and they didn't realise we were on parade. We had our ranking members, we had our section commanders. The guys went out there and they cleaned those poor Semper Fi guys up.
Yeah, exactly. It was like just the flooding out from the onto the street.
Mum and Daddy saw the passing out parade at Tats in Flinders. It was a shit night for the Marines.
Hal P doesn't mind a punch in the face, he said.
And I look like I've had a few, you know. I heard good night's sleep allows your nose to keep growing, and I tell you what, I'm going to be a sundial before I know it.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't. Now I'm worried about my son. He's so pretty. I don't want him to get...
Yeah, I'm thinking Fight Club again. Hey, Robbie Kett, how you going, mate? Guys, it's great to have you here tonight. Rowdy B, guys and gals, fantastic guy, has a family, you know, lives in Orange, you know, which has got anything but orange, meaning the sun at the moment. It's as cold as a witch's tit, you know, but he's a great guy. Doesn't speak as much as Kaz. You know, he dances worse than me butt, and he was there on the famous day in Kenya, not at carnivores where you can only eat exotic animals, no salad, no fruit.
Sandwich.
Sorry?
Was he there with the club sandwich?
He was there when Kaz ate the club sandwich. Busted me cherry on the club sandwich where I didn't know there was a toothpick that went in out on guard to the roof of my mouth, which was going to be the centre point where tubes do their dissolving in the future.
Oh my gosh, you know I can feel that when you describe it every time.
Captain Ahab harpooned Kaz. And I tell you something else. Some other things happened there, and none of it debauchery-wise, that was so goddamn funny, but I'm not going to put him in the shit. I'm not going to make his laugh, but can we get some thumbs up for Rowdy B there? He is the collective conscious, the more intelligent one, better looking, you know, hasn't got any hair, but so I beat him on that. He's got a lovely, lovely family too. Drunk Aussie, g'day everyone. How we going tonight? Mate, you're getting ready to go in another couple of months in the coldest time to join the military. Well done. Great admin.
Joss is going on the same day as you, Drunk Aussie.
He is. Rowdy B, I'm an excellent dancer, bro. That is not true. And I know my way around a club. A club singer. Yep.
I think you both, let's face it, you both lose because do you wear pirate sleeves?
No, but Donald Trump does.
The pirate sleeves wins.
Right. That's Tony Bilston, for those that don't know, Somalia veteran. Daz. That man doesn't drive a Hyundai anymore. He drives an SS Special Ute, okay, where he can put all of his friend into. And poor dog sits in the back. Mate, how's the scaffolding going, brother? Yep. Drunk Aussie, congratulations.
Indeed.
Yeah, he won't be feeling congratulated when he's in the bear pit breaking the ice, with that piece of skin between the front and back. Stevie Webb, make sure you subscribe to him. We're less than 30 from hitting the 10,000K, not 10,000K, 10K.
How about you eat the Brussels sprouts and Pepsi, or how about make a meal of it when you reach 10,000?
When we hit 10,000, I definitely will eat a Brussels sprout with a Pepsi chaser. With a Pepsi chaser.
You should eat 10, one for each.
What are you? Ever since you did that episode on the Hell Ship, there's a sick streak that's come out of you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It awakened something in me.
I started to eat this today, white chocolate, then threw it down with me privilege because I realised it even felt racist.
Oh. Okay, here's a question from Nicholas Metcraft.
Hey, Medi. Metadata.
Okay, I'm not quite sure what he's saying. Kazmate.
Yes.
Wanted to run this by you and see what you reckon. Is it any use for the army? Question mark. The idea is a sensor attached to a drone that uses a laser range finder and trigonometry to figure distance.
No, probably not, mate, because the guys that fly that, I don't doubt that they already have a fairly sophisticated location system where they're actually flying that over a set grid, and it would show the grid where they are at the time, where they're hovering, at distance as well. So
probably got better stuff than that anyway, really.
Yeah, it's the drone is an amazing piece of equipment. I remember when I did it for photography for the videos before the army was using them, and the advantage it could give you was Overwatch, where if it got shot out of the sky, it doesn't matter. Even with no military drone, you could have actually gone there with an organisation, a platoon, put it up in the air, flown it over some areas just to track threat force movement on the ground, But I don't think they ever used it for that. I think their bad guys did, bud. Stevie Webb, go Webb.
Did you see what he said?
No.
Pepsi is Satan's urine.
It sounds accurate. Yep.
Guys.
Yep.
Come on.
There's no way a girl's not going to swipe left on you straight away if she saw you with a Pepsi, I wouldn't feel like you could defend the house if something went wrong, if someone pulled out a Pepsi.
Seems a little harsh.
Today, I believe it was in Milwaukee. What I didn't know, in most neighbourhoods in the USA where the gangs are, I won't get into the persuasion of the people that are normally involved in that.
At no fault of their own. That's what happens in their communities, and they don't have much choice.
Yeah, they just do a mass shooting every weekend. Yeah. But they call it gang violence, not mass shooting. Today, I'm sorry I don't have the name. I was going to bring the name for you, but there was two blokes that had a beef with each other that clearly had been ongoing, who ran into each other, and rather than have the balls to sort it out in the street with their fists, at 1:45 in the morning, I believe it was Milwaukee, one opened, hit the other one backed off, ran, pulled his pistol out, they shot at each other, each one shot more than 20 rounds, 8 people were hit. There was a lovely young man, who had just passed his engineering not scholarship, university graduation, you know, and that was the night that he had graduated, shot in the back and killed, you know, and one of the gunmen got killed in the street, and the other one, they know who he is. Looks like he's going to go away for just under or just over 1,000 years.
And what a waste of their lives, all of them.
And the saddest thing was, both of these blokes were fighting each other were good-looking dudes. They were tall, they were big, they were strong-looking, they were good-looking. They could have had any girl they wanted. They had the money, they had the notoriety, but they just want to get involved in the gang.
It's just a waste of their lives.
It breaks your heart because they would have been fantastic at almost everything they did. Yeah.
That's a shame.
It is a shame for so many. 8 people shot.
For nothing.
Yep. And it happens every single weekend, but they don't call it a mass shooting, they call it gang violence. That's why you won't hear about it. And guess what? It only really happens in blue states. That have the strictest laws.
Yeah, because if you do come up with an invention that you want to try and get the tender, you know, sell it to the army, that's not really how it works. You'd have to patent the idea, and that does cost thousands of dollars, but it's worth doing. So you need a patent attorney if you want to do that, and then you would put it on the market for
Tenders.
Free, and then they might buy it, but you know, you have to patent it. Look into that first.
And one of the greasy things about people that actually make inventions, so to speak, if they ask for a prototype, sometimes those greasy mongrels will get it and go, give us a look at it. And then they'll reverse engineer it, make it themselves and go, nah, it's okay, and give it to someone else who makes it instead at a lower cost.
Yeah, exactly. It's very difficult, yeah.
Well, don't weep for the stupid. You'll be crying all day. Liam, there is truth to that, man. There is truth. And sometimes there's never enough. It's people think it's about money. It's not about money, it's about power.
Yep. Oh, that's from Predator. It's not about money, it's about power.
Is it?
Yeah. It's from one of them.
Did they just steal my line?
I think you may have stole theirs. I think they might have said it first. It's the Jamaican guy, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Patterson, I just want to answer that question because I put it in the title with almost no description tonight because we're on a watch, so to speak. Press like if you can or if you do for the stream, the show, the Kaz and Lauren presentation of miscellaneous information and compassion at times. But yeah, I miss the boys, mate. I definitely miss the guys. I think that the hardest thing about discharging is the dislocation of the mechanism that you take for granted. Now, when you're in the military, people are in a hurry to move out of the lines. That's crazy. The only advantage of moving out of the lines is to feel a little bit normal, a little bit balanced between civilian and soldier, and being a little bit closer to the strand if you're in Townsville, so you can take a dog, etc. Or you've been hoodwinked into going and living with someone else's previous girlfriend. When you're in the lines, you can basically walk out and yell out, "Who's coming to the gym?" And someone will, "Yeah, I'll go, mate," and come with you. "Who wants to go into town?" "Yeah, we're all going." "Rob, you stuffed up? You're driving." "Okay." "Who wants to go to the pool? Who wants to have some Mexican food?" Hey, fill in the blank. There's always someone there. Where do you want to go for holidays at the end of the year? Who's going to Thailand? Who's going to Byron Bay? Who's going to go to Wollongong? You know, who wants to get in a convoy and drive 5 cars deep on a road trip the whole way down, spend 2 weeks with family and then get together?
Yeah, I've even been in one of those convoys. It's great fun.
Fantastic. We've got the rats here.
Yep, Leo's here too.
Leo. I too am a wanker for life, my friend.
And I was going to read you what Bill Fleming wrote. He said, "I love your work, Kaz. Keep it up, mate."
Good on you, Bill. Mate, sometimes we miss the target, sometimes we hit it. You know, a clock, even a broken one, is right twice a day. And you know what? We might have at the moment 45 people watching, you know, and every one of them can have something they take different out of this, but it's an absolute pleasure that you give a bit of your time to come here and watch, and maybe there's something that you hear as part of your show that you get to walk away from and go, you know what? That just gave me a little bit more insight into something that I already knew, but now I'm not the only one being gaslighted by those around me who don't have a belief in something that's in my chest that says being a giver, is also giving sacrifice, and stepping forward. And if it's not military, it might be fire brigade, it might be police force, it might be air force, it might be navy, or it might be just being a better person. The amount of time over the last 5 years, I tell you now, Bill, that I've looked back, and the one statement you'll never hear me say, ever, and I hate it when I hear it, is someone say, I've got no regrets. Because I tell you what, I've got plenty. Whether it be the way I spoke to some people 35, 40 years ago, sometimes the way I spoke to my grandmother before she passed away, the fact that I don't remember the date that my sister passed away, the way I've treated people in the past, the promises I've made and not kept, the things I've had to do, the things I've had to say, some of them avoidable, some not, the things I've spent money on, the fact that I didn't buy a container of tubes before they went off the market. There's so many things. We have so many regrets, but life is about not being able to go backwards because you can't redo it. So don't make the mistakes. Listen to our stream and don't make the regrets that we have.
Exactly. You are not the same person you were years and years and years ago. It's who you are right now and going forward that matters. I feel dark sometimes. I think about the things I've lost and all that, but I just keep on going, and
that's all you can do.
Exactly, have some fun. That's what we did before. We were having fun, and it's great to have people to reach out to and have fun with.
There's a fantastic question there by JJ, Johnny James.
Yep.
What's the difference between? It's like my eyes are getting better. What's the difference between an infantry sniper and a special forces sniper? There isn't much difference. It's all just the mission that you're supporting, mate. The 7.62 or the 50 cal round that is going to fly through the air and hit the threat is all going to be based on a target, on a targetable area of interest, on a on delayed fire control order, on a target identification that has been told to you, priority list. It's all going to be just the same thing. There's no reason why SASR or commandos couldn't use, JP, Sniper Harry, all of these guys engage to support our task. There's no reason why they couldn't if it was a bigger mission.
Now, can you amend the book?
I can.
Because we've got Winnie 007 was supposed to leave for Kapuka on Tuesday, but he's stuck in Victoria now and probably be leaving on the 8th of June.
It's so annoying. You'd think they'd just go and grab something, whack it up his nose and test him in the worst possible way to go, nah, you're good, mate. So Winnie 007, when's he going now?
Now it's the 8th of June, so it was meant to be whatever date Tuesday is.
Well, guess what, Winnie? That means you're going with the Iron Wolf's dad, and she's only a woman to me. You're going with Joel as well. So fantastic. All that's happened is you're going with a different crew. Now we can call you 7 Platoon, and you'll be apples, mate. Good on you. But again, you'll be as cold as the witch's tit. And she's got 4 of them. Greggy Palmer.
Mr. Patterson's going to bed. Good night, John Boy. Sleep well.
Good night, Mr. P, and I hope you have a great day tomorrow, and I hope that Bunnings gives you the sausage you deserve. Yeah?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Greg Palmer thinks he had hair back in 82. Look, the PT shirts can change. The weapons can change. You're allergic to everything that comes out of them. But the mateship, the brotherhood, and the funny shit that you go through, Greg Palmer will be able to tell you, it doesn't change. It's the same old thing, just the faces are different. Why did the chicken cross the road? To laugh at Kaz's legs.
Yep. Here's a question from Christian. He says, sorry if I misgendered you. He says, love the content. I have been learning a lot. What do you think about armoured vehicle crew? It's my first preference, and I am eligible at the moment.
Oh, do you mean you're single? No, mate. Armoured crew is. You may not have heard me say this before, but Armoured Corps is my second choice if I was to join the army again now. One, because they share, okay, the front line with infantry, they do, but also they earn their hat badge, right? They have to finish their initial employment training. And a lot of it would come down to, I wouldn't have been good as armoured crew. The reason is I'm useless with my hands. Ask the ladies, they'll tell you that. But also because it is a very small group. So instead of being in a section where you've got 8 guys, 9 guys, sometimes more, if you're talking about the MIB, the military, the SIB, the Standard Infantry Battalion, you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people, which allows a little bit more diversity in personality. But when you go to Armoured Corps, what happens is you will normally have someone who is about 4 or 5 years older than you and maybe one other, or it might be just you and him, which means that Gabriel, one of my favourite names, Gabriel Shields, that's a porn name for sure. Yeah, but I'll be with you in 2 seconds, Gabriel, or Gabrielle. So Armoured Corps is fantastic. Just do you have the maturity to be able to be mission focused, keep your mouth shut, and not necessarily be there for the mateship, which is, I believe, a lot more in infantry than what it is in the armoured crew, because the crowds are small, the diversity of ages, etc., can be a hurdle for some like me that like to talk more than a house auctioneer. We just saw Gabriel Shields come in. Gabriel. Big fella has become a member too. Big fella.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
We've got 2 members. So big fella just joined with Gabriel Shields. Gabriel. Not so Cal. And guys and gals, great to have you here. Team, we're going to replace the Nutsu cow. I don't know why that's having a bit of trouble there. Don't know. With a little bit of Maury Poveridge with "You are the father." You know, I've just got to make the video for you so you can have a little bit of a laugh when that happens. Let's do a quick test run on that one just to see if that worked.
I am out here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you.
We choose truth over facts.
Never go for retard. Come on, man.
Well, it worked that time. Okay. Look, guys, great to have you here. Let's throw some thumbs up to our new members. Okay, they're in the uniform just before winter. You know, we're throwing, Daz is throwing some Krakens there, you know, as the moderator. That means he's approving right now. He's throwing you some calamari. Carl P, you know, doubled up on that. And Lauren she loves the octopus as well.
Yeah, I love some Craig. Hey, Drunk Aussie says Gabrielle is his better half.
Oh, so it's Gabrielle as in like a lady.
Yeah, didn't you know that's Gabrielle, not Gabriel?
Well, I thought they were spelt the same.
No, it's different. That's got another L and an E on the end.
Well, Gabrielle, that's a beautiful name, and I tell you what, Gabriel as a bloke's name, I reckon that would have given me that little bit of advantage that I don't get by having a name that is Dean. You know, there's going to be other Deans out there, I'm sure, but there's no ring to Dean. Well, as a matter of fact, there is no ring to it. It's a 1-syllable name. It's like Jan. There's no, her name's Jan. Okay. Dean sounds like you've held the inside of a bell, then hit it hard to Dean. There's no ring to it.
Well, I'm kind of biased in that opinion. You know, all my children have the middle name Dean.
Okay, well, there you go. Now I realise what you've done. You've collected me as part of your pack.
No, it's my maiden name. So
it's been a long time since you've been a maiden, young lady.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Throw some questions at me. Me and Lauren and I. Throw some questions.
Okay.
What really makes you itchy in the night? Maybe Gabrielle can
It'd be great if she said g'day, because we'll look after her while you're gone.
And they can have a question between each other. Maybe you want to ask one where your fantastic gentleman doesn't get to answer, or vice versa, and you can turn around and go, see, he said it, not me.
That's funny, Stoddy. I can't think of that today. Every time I see the word cake or biscuit, all I think of is my stream this morning and the oat biscuits.
Can you give a quick wrap on your channel here too, please, Lauren? Because I tell you what, it's fantastic. Lauren doesn't get as caught up in the conversation as much as she does the delivery of excellent information that you probably have never heard of before, and it really is stellar. And it's every single morning, bar weekends.
Yeah, I have been streaming every single weekday at 9:30 a.m. But we talk about all kinds of stuff. It's really, gosh, what haven't we covered so far?
Can you please tell them just a quick synopsis of the Hell Ship before they go to your video? So leave enough detail. They need to go there.
Yeah, I have to be careful because Jay, I promised him no spoilers. Well, anyway, it's about the Hell Ship of the Death Fleet, and the second fleet that came out to Australia transporting convicts was called the Death Fleet, and it's a story about privatisation gone wrong, paranoid ship captains, massive death tolls, horrible sights when they came into port, and some of probably the mankiest story I've ever heard that people had to do to stay alive.
Sorry, I just realised my green ball that I've got here.
Look at it. You've got a see-through eye patch.
Because I've got the green screen up here too.
Yeah.
That's what's happening to you. Is there anyone that actually misses the artifacts that are in the back of the room that haven't seen them before? You know, because there's probably some people that think that we've always had the green screen, etc. We haven't.
No.
Do you want me to drop it for 2 seconds?
That's actually hilarious when you put it in your mouth, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I love these guys. A lot of people don't realise either that we've actually tailored this thumbnail for the background, and we do a lot of work for the backgrounds you may have taken for granted, but that is not actually part of that picture. We've placed that in there as well, just for a little bit more darkness, because thumbs up if you love darkness. Put a thumbs up if you love true crime. You know, Samuel Little. Have you heard about Samuel Little?
Have I?
You should. He's under your bed. Samuel Little was a really, really tough bloke. You know, African American fella, and he was a boxer. He was a pretty tough lad. Something happened, and he ended up getting caught in a rap for a murder, and he used to prey on ladies of the night that were African American as well. And when they asked him, you know, you need to tell us, you need to come clean, Samuel Little came out and said, well, okay, the figure is 93 girls that he got rid of. And the thing that makes him so different to everyone else, Lauren, do you know what it is?
What?
He's got a photographic memory.
Oh, no. What?
So he can tell you which one. He can go, give me a piece of paper. I'll draw a sketch of her right now. He goes, he remembers every single detail. He remembers exactly where they're buried.
Yeah, what lipstick.
And he goes, I can take you to her right now, and I can tell you what she said before she went.
Yeah.
You know, and at first they thought this guy's full of crap, but then they backed up and they actually went, and 34 of them, the FBI went, well, the last 34 he took us to have all been legit. You know, and they reckon 93.
Gosh, that's awful.
But he was a bad man. Like he would cripple men as well if you annoyed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty bad stuff. I'd love to see you do a deep dive on Ivan Milat, but I wouldn't want to do a story on Ivan Milat because I think the whole family are freaks, you know, and don't come after me.
Something's definitely gone wrong there. You know, something's definitely gone wrong. Yeah, generationally. Actually, Carl P had a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for it?
Yeah, of course.
Kaz, I have a question. Do you think the weapon systems will change in the next 10 years? Like more advanced, better technology?
There is no better technology. That's the thing. What it is, 2 seconds. Christian.
Christian.
Bam. That's equivalent to 10,000 viewers, due to AdSense. That's the way it works in Australia. Fantastic, mate. Thank you very much for the Asian cow. Nutsu cow. Can I have that with Mongolian sauce, please? But not the broccoli that seems to come with it, mate. Thank you very much. What was your quick question before I jump back to Carl? Thanks for the info. Can you please read that with your angelic voice, please, Lauren?
Yeah, thanks for the info. Do armoured mix with infantry a lot, or only for joint training and operations? Looking to serve and then join the AFP.
Okay. And that's a fantastic career too. And I've got mates that are in the AFP, and I tell you what, they get paid a pretty bloody buck.
Oh, yeah, they get paid well.
And their postings are fantastic. I thoroughly recommend that. And I also recommend it in the order that you just said. You're a smart man, Christian. Yep. I'll call you Ronaldo for now. That's some fancy footwork. You won't see Cav and infantry hanging out together. Just like you won't see 1RR and 2RR hanging out together, 2RR and 3RR hanging out together. They hang around their own. Okay, but when we come together, the longer you've worked together, it's like, yep, know each other. Platoon sergeants will go and speak to each other, sort out the bullshit, so that there can be a deconfliction of command in that space, so to speak. So that's the thing. Thank you very much, Christian. Carl P., when you said about the weapons, I'm not sure if you were inspired by the 6.5, what looks like to be the millimetre of the weapon system that the Americans are going to adopt. The 6.5 naturally hits harder than 5.56, not as hard necessarily as 7.62 or 50 cal, etc. Any one of these rounds, it needs to be a capability now that it needs to be able to start penetrating body armour. That is the next big capability we need to happen. Australian Army's just spent a hell of a lot of money on the enhanced F-88. Its modularity is still fantastic. I'm not a big fan of it, but that's because I prefer the M4 with its versatility and its ability to have attachments, etc., modularization. But this new weapon system, it looks pretty high tech. To me, it looks like soldiers could break it. It looks like Tully can break it. It doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be something that runs like a song, but still hits as hard as everything else and has balance once everything is actually on it, so it doesn't become front heavy like a EF-88 does when it's got a GLA on, etc. But there's not much you can do about that. So, in saying it, the training needs to go into the soldier, not into the equipment. It's like a pool cue. If I know how to swing it, I'm good to go. I'll beat you every time. It's like a photographer can do a fantastic shot with the camera. He can do one with an iPhone, etc.
Okay, Rob Woolley's here.
Oh, now I don't mind if there's a bit of wool inside my Mongolian lamb.
He's a gift giver extraordinaire.
And
he said, hey, Kaz, do you want a hand to have your phone mixed to your computer audio? Rob, thank you very much, but Kaz and I have something going on.
Up our sleeve.
Yeah, we do, and we have a teenager to help us do it tomorrow, and Kaz and I will even be able to play games just with each other on this thing.
Let's keep it out of the gutter.
Yeah. No, we can actually game together this time with this thing.
That would be fantastic. And I've also found out how to get the gameplay in the background using spectator mode in Battlefield 5, which allows you to go on and have free cam to get angles, so you're not actually playing the game. You can go in, and then I've got to find out how to record that spectator mode so we can get in those little niche areas and you can watch the chaos of the female driver in the background that we all love so much.
The lady driver.
There's an ad that came on in the USA, It's a new recruiting ad. You may have seen this. You know, it just got sent to me as well before. I can't remember if that was from Mr. P or whether it was from Robbie Ken, etc. And it was about the recruiting ad where they're starting to miss the mark. You know, you've got to be careful what you do in recruiting, because that is exactly who will start to become either the main person that starts coming to the call, or it could deter people from coming to what they want to be their final frontier, etc. So we're going to play this ad for you. I'll speak while it's going on, or drop the volume a little bit so that that YouTube doesn't jump on us, but they want us to see this because for distribution. But when you compare this to the Russian recruiting ad, okay, and you mix this up with the Chinese recruiting ad, you know, it's a different ball game, team. It really is. So let's have a look at this and try not to cringe too much in case the wind changes and you're left looking that way, okay? Watch on and enjoy for the next 2 minutes. Oops, not that one. Not that one. That's my mates that I miss. That's the days I miss. Sitting with the team there like that. That's tough. They're waiting for lunch. They're waiting to go to Cactus Jacks, the gym, the pool, etc. Right, here we are. Play. Just think if you never knew anything about the army and this was the ads that you were seeing on main screen TV.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California with a little girl raised by 2 moms.
What? It's a game now? It's like making, like...
Yeah, it's about a girl being brought up by 2 mums. Hey, Emma.
Although I had a fairly typical childhood,
Not
took
really.
ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality.
It's misleading.
I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age.
Being gay is not defending freedom.
When I was
team.
6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such
This has got
powerful role
almost
models,
nothing to do with
I finished
military.
high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life.
What is
A sorority girl
This is
stereotype.
an army recruiting ad
Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring
for
women,
the US.
No, it's
but what had I
not
really achieved
Yes, it
on my
is.
own?
Babe, where did you...
One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest.
Isn't real, is it?
Yep.
I needed my own
Is it
adventures,
real?
Yep.
my own challenge.
It's getting laughed at all across the world.
And after meeting with an army recruiter,
We need to do a
I
no
found
safe
it.
space.
a way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way.
And it's a real person too.
This is dangerous.
I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
Irresponsible.
So, for about 4 seconds, it actually had a real soldier. Other than that, it was all a cartoon, a wish list to appease the left. I wonder what the budget was to create that.
That's what I was thinking too.
Can we get a
But
thumbs up if you thought that was awesome?
I know what we should do.
Does that inspire you? Does it make you want to join? Does it make you want to go over the top and go, you know?
It makes me think that they're lying to me. If I've won, that them in an artistic sense, by them making it into a cartoon, it looks like, see, it'll be fun, just like the games you play, just like the storybooks you read as a kid, and that's dangerous and misleading.
Yep. And you know what the funny thing is? And we've done a video on this because of Peter Dutton. I don't kiss 100% of people that are in the military. So why do I need to know your sexuality?
It's none of our business.
Well, if I'm not going to kiss a single one of them, why do we need to know?
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it just, like, I'm confused. it's patronising to people who are gay, and it's patronising to women who want to draw. Here, princess, we'll draw you a cartoon.
Yeah, I've got two mums. I had a typical upbringing. You go, what?
Yeah, Foxhound thought it was great, apparently.
Yeah.
I think he's pressed the wrong thumbs, I'm sure.
In saying that, but she's lucky she had two parents. So
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with it. There was no reality of what the job would look like. And that is misleading to me.
yeah,
Kids, it won't be like a cartoon.
no, it won't be. And
Once you're through that door, they will not give you a freaking cartoon.
you won't get a cartoon. You'll get someone like me who doesn't talk to you as nice on here as what I do.
Yeah,
No, I won't be as nice in real life as what I am when I'm there. You know,
exactly.
in
Because
saying that,
Yeah.
in saying that, Lauren, I think that's what a lot of people take for granted.
Yeah.
When you're on this stream team, don't get me wrong. The moment I meet you, I'll have fun with you. You know, I'll let you know you're not in Kansas anymore, meaning you're not in Kapuka anymore. You're in School of Infantry. You're going to start to get held accountable for your actions. You know, you have to keep passing, or you're going to be on the backwoods Diddy Mao from the village back squad train. You know, but I will treat you like you're a man. I'll treat you like you have 100 points until you prove otherwise. But I'll play with your mind and gaslight you. I'll let you know, do you like dogs? Do you like cats? Just so you don't know what the trick answer is.
And that's your job. Hey, look who's there. Aussie player with his 10 euros.
The German paramedic is here. Nutsu cow with the yellow cow from Germany. All the best, my friend.
Yeah, that's so good. And we've got a lad named Brad. It says he's watching from Singo. He's on picket right now.
Okay. I hope you don't mean in the field on picket.
Yeah.
with a phone. That wouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah.
For starters, let's who's on picket?
Well, a lad named Brad.
A lad named Brad. We'll get back to you in 2 seconds, mate. Get your entire platoon to do. If you get everyone in your platoon to jump on, then one night I'll do a stream just for your platoon. Let us know what your platoon name is. No, don't yet, because he's probably in Gallipoli platoon. He's probably at the range at the moment, and he's doing range sentry duty. Before we get to that, Aussie player, can we just get some thumbs up for the angel on the street with Aussie player? He's a paramedic. He's in Germany. And Aussie player, have you saved any lives this week, mate? Can you let us know? Have you delivered any babies? Have you saved any lives?
I'm sure he saves lives all the time.
Yeah, I've always got this soft spot for him, It's always have, No mention of the suck. Yeah, that was true with that video. Guys and gals, when you turn up to Singo, now we've got guys and gals that are finding out right now. This is something we don't tell you about either. That's probably escaped us, and that is when you go from Kapuka to the School of Infantry and you have to do your BFA the day after you get to the Singleton to see if you are up to the standard required to go into a session. What they don't tell you is when you get to Singleton, you're thinking I'll be there for 3 months. Your session may not start for 6 weeks after you get there. So you've got to add that on to the 3 months. You can get injured, act of God. You might not be fully prepared, or you might not be up to the standard of all of those that are already waiting, that have been doing hard PT nearly every single day, because that's all they can do, if not double sessions with the School of Infantry PDIs. Okay, that will make you bloody cry from your ass crack. So it can be competitive. You'll find times, because they're not allowed to retrain you. We're not allowed to train you in something that is not an all-soldier skill.
Okay.
So we can't go into the program at all. But what they can do is give you jobs as sentry. They can give you orders as an Australian soldier. But what they can also do is get you ready for your course by giving you not an introduction, but 1 or 2 PT sessions a day to get you to the best possible standard you can have. And why they have to really smash you in fitness is because they have to offset your chances of having injuries. So they make you as resilient and strong and robust, where you're going to be getting sized up with people that you pick to be your partner to train against, to defeat in that circuit training. So when someone goes, I didn't get much out of it, you go, that is actually impossible. Because you're going to pick someone who's going to threaten you as far as they might be able to beat you with reps over a prolonged period of time. They might be able to run faster than you. There's going to be something that's going to give them observation over you, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and then when they see a trend, rather than go, oh, these guys aren't really good at swimming, they'll take you to the pool and they'll flog you, because you're not going to injure yourself in the pool, and they will catch you before you drown. Mm.
Wow. Okay. Keely says that Darcy will be in Singleton in less than a month, and he's already been told he'll have 4 weeks until the training starts. And
I tell you what, Keels, it's a great thing, because it'll give him a chance to just go, find his feet, not go in there with the absolute shock of capture where he can make mistakes through anxiety. It gives you the chance, if you're over there, you'll be able to go and visit him, meet him in Newcastle. One night in heaven, one night in...
Wait, that's his mother.
Sorry?
That's his mother. That's not an appropriate song.
Yeah, but she can get... I'm in Newcastle. He can drive you because he's not allowed to drink, and then you can go down and you can swipe right.
All right. We're all very impressed with that little video on how she did that superhero landing.
Yeah, you should get her ass kicked for that, because you actually do a 2-foot landing. You don't land like a cat.
Everyone thinks that Dave D should have landed like that.
Oh, Dave D. For those that don't know, Dave D is one of our moderators. Check this one out. He needed bloody Aussie. He needed him because he done a 1-foot landing just before he was going to join the military, and basically amputated his foot when he hit the ground at a wrong angle and got an open fracture, breaking his tibia and fibia with open protruding wounds, and was basically just his leg was held together with ligaments. And you know what? He came back, he trained, he done what the doctor said, he didn't rush it, he trained properly and intelligently, and yep, he got his goal.
There you go. Brady thinks they should do cosplay Kapuka, really, that someone should go dressed up as a comic book character. Rob Wall has something interesting here. He says the US Army are considering taking people who are overweight or don't pass the fitness requirements and put them in a longer recruit program.
Nope.
With 3 to 6 months of fitness training.
Nope, that's a mistake. They're there. So you can't take someone who's already not motivated. The litmus test that you do is say turn up and be prepared. That's why I can't stand that test where you can turn up when you can only do 2 push-ups. You're going, this generation has never had less excuses for not coming up with the goods. You're the first of the real generation that's had all of the information that tells you how to turn up. And if someone can't do that, we don't want them. Because you already can't follow, or are too immature, or unable to reach the mark. That is the test in itself, that you turn up prepared.
Yep, indeed. What have we got going on?
I don't know.
Kringles has asked, I'm not a very talkative person. Is that going to disadvantage me in my U session?
Absolutely not. Because you still know how to answer a question, my friend. And the army is made up of a whole bunch of people. JP, the sniper that lives with Lauren. You can't get a word out of him. You think you've done something wrong until you see an evil little pirate grin on his face.
Yeah, and it is too.
You'll be fine, mate. You'll be fine. Rowdy B that was on here before doesn't talk much, but he bloody listens. Yep.
Indeed.
Aussie player. No babies. Save 4. 1, yep.
Oh, wow.
1 self-harm. Paramedic 4. Mate, that's a pretty good stat you've got there, mate. Absolutely fantastic. Save for, here we are talking about coming in and doing a stream. You know, the invisible skill sets that some of you guys and gals have in this comment section is insane. And you have to be on this side of the camera, you know, to realise, because I get to see all of the good information, all the trials and tribulations, and so does Lauren.
Yep.
And, man, that puts things in perspective. You know, Aussie player has no room for politics. All he has is, if you're helping me, you're helping me. If you're not helping me, get the hell out of my way and give me some information and make sure that the other ambulances can come in and assist.
Yep.
All action.
If we wrote down a skills database of everyone in here, there's Aussie player, we've got a paramedic, we've got some Daz can do some scaffolding when his shoulder's better. We've got all sorts of. I can do tattoos.
Well, put it in this perspective. If we had 10 people in here, and you were giving a job to someone, Lauren, and we'll say that you were in management, okay? And you're in management, and 10 people, even 10 people from this channel came to you and put their put their resumes in, and then you saw one of them was Aussie player, that he was a paramedic. I'm telling you now, I don't need to know anything else. He's getting the job over everyone, because this kid needs to be also cradled and protected after he comes away from that, to also show him not to look away from the dark humour and the callousness that can happen by working on the front line for a consistent amount of time. But the nation owes them a favour. You know, you don't have to thank a soldier for their service, but you goddamn do have to thank a paramedic. If you see a paramedic at McDonald's, you buy them a cup of coffee, you know, or at least you offer to. You know, they are really, really special people, and they might be saving your family member. They might be saving your children one day. They could be saving you. You know,
Rob Bull's off to study. He's got 2 uni exams to study for next week.
I wouldn't even know what that would be like to have no pressure put on you other than yourself, how hard that would be. You would have to love what you're doing, what your university degree is going to be, because imagine people going, I don't care. If you don't pass, you don't pass. If you don't qualify, you don't qualify. If you don't turn up, you don't turn up. You know, that takes a special sort of discipline, and I think we often take people into university where it's almost not fair to those poor buggers to go, you're finally out of school, you're finally old enough to drink, you know, and here we're going to give you some of the most intense, what would you call it, responsibility to deliver and study when everything else is saying come out and party. I take my hat off to uni students that get the job done. I do.
Yeah, I know Stoddy. We joke about him being at toga parties all the time, but I know they study hard.
Yeah, they do. You know. What's that gentleman's name there?
Jacob Shell El Shaddai, which El Shaddai is one of the names of God. God bless you, Kaz and crew. I feel like God is calling me to join the army and go for infantry, potentially commandos in the future, and I'm pumped about it. Well, you always say it's a calling.
That's what we want you to be, mate. It's a calling. You know, don't expect everyone to understand that. You know who does understand it? Everyone that comes from not first world countries.
Yeah.
You know, they all understand it. You know.
Yeah.
Mate, God be with you. You know, and in the absence of counsel, we are here to help you the entire way, where we can as your caddy, you know, an emotional guidance, whether it comes from Stoddy, whether it comes from Wooly, whether it comes from Carl, whether it comes from Lauren's lovely angelic paramedical voice.
Yes.
You know? You know?
Nice. What have we got here from Full Metal Barista? What period in the initial infantry training do they make all the aspiring diggers work sleepless nights to the point of hallucinating, like Dorothy when her cat crashed ended?
That will normally happen on the defensive phase, mate. We'll get to that, but just after we start to speak about the drunk Aussie, wake up, son. Yeah. You're leaning on your credit card again. He leans on his credit card. You know what he's trying to do? He's hoping that I'll talk to the other instructors and say, I'm about to be there. Can you go easy on me? I'm just a drunk Aussie.
And you give Gabrielle, sorry, we'll get it right soon. You give her a love for us.
Yep.
And just yourself.
Gabrielle and the drunk Aussie.
Yeah.
Nutsu cow. Thank you very much for the Asian cow. With that one, I'll get maybe some Szechuan chicken. That'll keep me regular over the next few days. Thank you very much. And Gabrielle, awesome to have you here. You're welcome. You don't need to be with Drunk Aussie to be here. You know, just reach out and we'll be there for you, mate.
Yep.
Love your name. What was the question that was getting asked just before?
About the...
That's right.
Get in the training.
The fatigue. Okay. You'll naturally be fatigued, okay, because we always have to man a machine gun when you're in a field environment, okay, in a tactical environment, so to speak. So you'll never get a full night's sleep, ever. But the sleep deprivation, which is not designed as sleep deprivation, it is something, there is a byproduct of having to get your pit down so that you can be below the ground, therefore meet the heading to hold ground, which means when indirect fire lands, you don't get to run away. You have to stay there. If you take casualties, you take casualties. No one's coming to help you. That's called holding ground, digging in. Stage 3. So that starts with normally with either a machine gun pit and 2 shell scrapes. And what occurs is you will dig, with an entrenching tool, which is a 50 centimetre long handle with an entrenching tool on the ground, which sometimes feels like you're digging on concrete depending on the time of the year. And you'll be digging for normally at least the first 24 hours before your head touches the ground. In saying that, okay, what happens is you will get into a routine because you'll have people on the machine gun, as security. You'll have people in a standing patrol out normally 800 metres in front of your call sign. You'll also have people on sentry. So when you have 2 people doing the buddy system inside a pit, what would normally happen if I was digging with Lauren is I would say to Lauren, 5 minutes, go as hard as you can, dig in as much as you can, and I will dig it out. For that 5 minutes, bam, I'm sucking off the invisible man.
Yep.
For 5 minutes, she'll go, Kaz, okay, now it's a swap. And so what? Yep. There's never, you can't both dig at the same time once the shell scrapes are done. So one will be laying down having 5 minute micro sleep, okay, while the other person is digging. Then you'll jump in, then they'll jump out, learn to sleep for 5 minutes when you can. When you're not doing that, then you might be cooking. But man, that ground is so hard. It's not like digging a grave where in the movies it takes 1 hour and they're done. It will take you so long because you've also got defensive works you have to do, wiring. You've got to be digging in shitters, because, you shit in a honey pot, which is as hot as mercury, right, or as cold as a wife's touch on a divorce proceeding. Man, that's terrible. Hey, Lightfoot is here. Thanks for the encouragement.
Jody.
Sorry?
Jody is here too.
Jody?
Yeah.
Does that woman ever sleep?
Maybe we just get her at the right time so that the whole ladies auxiliary is present now.
Let me quickly show you. Check this out, team. This was the photo that was taken, you can't see it properly there, of the blood moon, by Lightfoot with his sleazy little telescope.
Oh yeah, it was a great pic.
It was amazing. It's got the blue reflection from the water as well as the reflections from the sun to give it the red, and there's that line straight away in between it as well. It was a magnificent shot. Well done, mate.
Yeah, it was a beautiful photograph. You sent it on to me.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It looked like a Brussels sprout. Bit better. Jody, what's happening over in the USA, mate?
Freddie just asked her if she had oatmeal for breakfast.
Ugh, the poultice.
Yeah. Yeah, change the subject, quick.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
Okay, Diesel Man has a question about push-ups at Kapuka.
Yep.
corporal says I should go slow and exact form, but a lot of others are saying to push them out as fast as I can. What should I do?
I suspect your corporal's not infantry because he's goddamn wrong. You know, not only was I a push-up god, you know, but I was also a fitness leader, as well as the guy that is actually watching like a hawk, like a lady watching a man counting out his pay. Okay, and you need to go fast. Good form, but go as fast as you can. The reason being is, if you go slow, your anterior, okay, anterior, bleh, holy shit, your transverse abdominal abs will give way. Okay, your anterior deltoid up here will give way. You'll start to hunch in the back. You won't go up the whole way, and you won't get the numbers out. It is a competition. Everything you do at the School of Infantry is a competition, and when it's not a competition, it is a hardening to get you to a position where you need to be able to do as many as possible to be able, because it's about muscular endurance and capability. So what I'd say to you is go as fast as you can, keep yourself at a proper straight angle from the back of your neck all the way down to your feet. Go down and up in one movement. When you do the rest and you prop your ass up into the hello sailor position, make sure you come back to a strict straight line, pause, and then start your push-ups again, because what you can't afford is a foot to be between your hands to get your attention, and you look up and you realise that you've been getting told, don't count that one, don't count that one, don't count that one, stand up. So go as fast as you can, okay, because you will run out of energy before the 2 minutes as well. And try to go as long as you can into that 2 minutes. Go first. The reason why you should go first is because you'll have more time to recover, okay, before you go over to the sit-ups, etc., to get your breath back. You know, the people that are waiting at the back, we sort of look at those people going, a bit scared, are we, to step forward and show us what you got. And remember, push-ups is also one of the best activities to let a girl know that she picked the right guy.
Yeah.
I'm better
Aussie
than the best man.
Aussie player is getting out of here, and he said, Kaz and Lauren, if you ever come to Germany, you have a place to stay and food. Keep up the great work.
And vice versa, my friend. I don't need to know anything more about you to let you know that you are welcome in my home to break bread with me. And if you ever see me, there's a good chance that I'm laying on your hospital, your paramedic bed with only enough energy to go, what's her name, mate?
Yep. And Jody says it's Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. That's a really, really big weekend in the USA. They've got a number of weekends that are similar to ours. They've got Veterans Day, they've got Memorial Day, etc. It's a really big deal. I hope Mr. Biden gives it all the respect. Sadly, it's when most of the gang violence happens in the USA. It's a really bad one. Memorial weekend is always where it just kicks off. It's horrible. Mate, all the best for you. You know you're in our hearts, Jody. You know, and you know that I see you as a gold star mother. You know, James, you know, he'd be so proud of you. You know, your other son would be very proud as well. You know, you're a fantastic lady.
Sure
you're very special. You're a special part of the channel, and you're a constant reminder to us, you know, that, you know, how humble you are and what you project, and such a lovely person, and still able to go on through the resilience you've created with a lovely relationship with Maddie, the Santa Claus lookalike. So, thumbs up, love.
Also, have you got the book there? The
I have.
Nearly Visible book?
I have got the book.
Okay, because World of Doro has a enlistment day.
Okay.
Yeah, enlistment day was booked in, and it's booked today for the 20th of July.
20th of July.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's Raf or not though.
I'm sure we had his name in here before. World
I
of...
don't know if he had an actual date, but he knew roughly when.
Oh, okay.
It's
World...
Raf. Yeah.
Do you say to the ladies, welcome to the world of Doro?
Yeah.
What do we call pictures on the internet now for Jody? What do we call them, Lauren?
Images.
Yeah. I had to search for images, to find this one back here and then put this freak there, put the it on there. For people that can't see, our logo is in the background.
Subtly. I like
subtly.
That. Yeah.
I'm wearing Wolf Creek looking clothes right here.
Yeah, great. Dog Sick says, hey mate, long time lurker. We love when long time lurkers get in the
We
chat.
do, because it means we've earned their conversation.
Exactly, and g'day to all the other lurkers out there. I've got my assessment day on the 8th of the 6th for RAF Loadmaster. Any tips?
Great job. Remember that that they are looking for things that are wrong with you, not things that are right for you. Okay, they don't care about the good stuff about you, mate. Remember, they're going to look at everything to do with you medically. They're still going to make you do everything you do for the military. They're going to make you bend down, walk like a duck to make sure you don't have an inverted chicken leg coming outside your exhaust pipe. They're going to be looking for hernias. They're going to be looking for scars. They're going to be asking you about your mental health. They're going to be just basically talking to you about scenarios. What do you think about that? They're going to ask you about your job. What made you choose that job? So just think articulately, what would my answer be? Don't go in there with a script. You should be fine, mate. You should be fine. And I hope you don't have any medical hurdles to get past.
Yeah, exactly. Diesel Duck fan said, hey Kaz, at Kapuka, do the PTIs monitor every single push-up you do? Because I don't see how they could have 30-60 PTIs watching a platoon of 30-60 recruits. How does it work?
Well, you might only have 6 come forward and 3 PTIs, and each one's looking at 2. Yep. So what might happen is you might have 8 or 10 people doing push-ups. And what they might have is the PTIs, okay, all of them in between 2 people while staff members are holding the clipboard, okay, writing down how many reps are taken. And the platoon sergeant, platoon commander may even come in and they might also assist and go, okay, or section commanders, and do the assessing as well. Because when I'm a fitness leader, I'll invite people, with credibility in to assist me with scoring. And sometimes I've had to tell them, hey, settle down. Because sometimes people get a bit excited too. Your push-ups aren't always going to be the best, okay, when you are looking like you're trying to make a baby. You're going 100 miles an hour, but I can see effort, and when it starts to get to a minute and a half and you're still trying to punch them out, I can see that there's a little bit of a dip here and there. Sometimes I'll let you go for the 100, so to speak, and you can see when someone's going for 100.
Do you need to ring your lovely daughter?
I do, but I'm going to give it another 5 minutes before we might get out of here.
Yeah, fair enough too.
Yep.
Yep, fair enough.
So let's go for another 5 minutes, team. We've got the Rusty Gypsy here.
Yeah, I think he's from Buck's channel.
Yeah, I've seen Gypsy a lot. He's been here a lot.
Yeah.
Hi, Kaz. You're a good man. You and Buck and all the ex-military and in. Thanks. Good on you, mate. Mate, Russ, just so you know, mate, we saw it was a fantastic, actually, quote that was from Dan Pronk. And Dan Pronk is a guy that he went to SASR, and ended up becoming a doctor. He went overseas. He's a machine. He has the warrior's mindset, etc. He did the barrier test with me before 99 when we went over to East Timor for that. And one of the quotes he said was basically to people that the respect that you get after you leave the army, remember, it's for the uniform that you wore. It's not for who you are now, so to speak. So basically, it's almost like the essence of it is don't live in the past. Don't let your military service define you, because you still have so much life to give. Don't live in that past. Only being in that echo chamber where you can't move forward. Otherwise, your conversations may be harder and harder and harder to find someone that you tolerate within that space, so to speak. So, and that's what we do. We talk to you. We try to assist you to get there. You know, we'll give you the Warriors mindset on what it's like to be somewhere, the ground facts, so to speak. You know, but this is all about you guys now. It's not about us anymore.
Yep.
You know, and you've got different trials and tribulations we didn't have.
Ibrahim was hoping you would check your Patreon messages.
I will check those, mate. I will check those. A lot's been going on here in the last few days, mate, that I won't talk about on here. And I'll definitely go and check those straight out, mate. And it's awesome to have you there.
Yeah, it sure is.
Why is it when someone's got a long name like that, it just sounds so much more believable, you know?
Yeah.
Like the writer of books and manuscripts, whereas I'm Dean Caswell. Oh, okay.
You must be learned. Yeah. No, I like the cut of Ibrahim's jib.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim Dowse would like to see you direct a recruitment video / cartoon.
Imagine that. You've got your father's looks.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to a.
What it'll really be like.
I'm talking to a girl. You got your father's looks.
Yeah, why not? Chongo, he's got to go. Good night, Chongo.
Just so as you're aware, after netball tomorrow morning, and no, I'm not playing. My intent is to do like a notice board of the videos we're going to be covering, and I'm hoping to make 2 or 3 reactionary videos to a couple of things that really interested me over the last couple of weeks. So I'd like to make those videos and then have them popping up every second day, etc. next week on different subjects that aren't all military, because what you may not realise is when you look at YouTube, for example, you can go on and type in Australian Army, and I think it was almost the 30th video before one of mine even turns up. So I don't know, it's already a niche subject as it is, but some of the ones that come before our channel's videos, you know, it just doesn't make sense to me unless there's some sort of, you know, don't let this guy get past the gate, so to speak. So apologies for that. It's one of the reasons our channel isn't a lot bigger than what it is.
We're getting there, not far off 10,000, and you're going to enjoy
Brussels
sprouts.
No, I'm not having 10 Brussels sprouts.
Look,
look,
1,000 subscribers. That's only fair.
The people on the first fleet, on that second fleet, the Hell ship, wouldn't have eaten Brussels sprouts, I'm telling you.
They would have loved it. Don't even say that sacrilege. Look, there's Wizzy Wombat with $10 and a little dancing lemon guy.
Wizzy Wombat. I don't like that. I don't like the puppet's form. He's going to hurt himself there with the cha-cha baby rattles.
Little, maracas, yeah.
Can we get some thanks there to the Wombat, who's about to get a lot of competition now that Tassie Devils have been starting to get their groom on in Australia.
Yep, babies have been born on the mainland. Tassie Devil Joeys have finally been born on the mainland. So they're back breeding on the mainland, first time in thousands of years.
That's how you know that the left is really taken over in Australia, when they're trying to save the devil.
Well, we've got to. They're beautiful. They just make a lot of noise. Orlando W says, another lurker here. Hi, Orlando. Welcome. I'm waiting for my PFA date. I started training months ago and exceeding the minimum requirements, aiming for double. I feel amazing and want to keep pushing harder. Good on you.
That's excellent, mate. And that's what it needs to. Because you don't get time to do extra training, so to speak, you know, when you get there. So the more prepared you are when you go in, the better.
Right.
Here's one for you too there, Robbie Kent, Carl P, Jody Stevens, Keely and Zach, etc. What we're going to do soon is, you just know the deal when I do marathon streams, that it has to be someone that I don't know. So what we're hoping is one of the directors needs to come up with a family, you know, that's doing it hard. And what we're going to do is have a BSB and or a GoFundMe, and a BSB for just a family that is chosen by good people. And I'll do a marathon stream. And that's it won't be about big donations. What it is about donations that go straight to that, using those numbers, that doesn't come to the channel, so every single bit of it goes to that family. And if it raises $500, which will be more than, because I'll put $500 in myself. You know, we just want to give a family, you know, that might be in the outback. It might be some of these mice-kicking cowboys at the moment that feel like they're losing their goddamn brain.
That's a good idea, because that mouse plague is something else.
Yeah.
Full Metal Barista has said he has a fear of heights. The heights that make you feel like you're gonna fall like Wile E. Coyote. Should I be pooping myself for Kapuka?
You should absolutely shit yourself, but don't worry about it, because apparently the high wire course at the moment is out of action, an investigation, because someone fell and hit the ground like Roadrunner in an Acme accident. So what I'd recommend to you is don't worry about it. If you are scared of heights, one thing I will tell you about, my friend, is because #MeToo, never tell people what your phobias are, because they will definitely use that against you and laugh like blazes, mate. When one day you're hanging out the side of a chopper with your legs hanging out and your eyes looking like Graham Kennedy, or like Kaz has just been told he's going to marry a man. You know, I am shit scared of heights. Yeah, absolutely. But no matter what your fears are, team, don't tell people, because that can even go against you in the assessment phase.
Yeah. Yeah, the devils will be great up there. JP's right. The devils could help with the feral population. Well, I tell you what, we're getting a lot more roadkill on the roads since they've been dying out, so you guys are going to have less roadkill.
I thought he was talking about the people in Western Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
They are the
oh, look, the devils are taking down people in Aldi. You know? All right, team, let's get out of here. But directors, whether it be Jay Hayes that put someone forward, whether it be Stoddy, whether it be Robbie Kent, whether it be Mr. Wool, Senior Wool, okay, whether it be Jody, whether it be Carl, we're looking for a family that $500 to $1,000 would almost be a life changer for them, you know? So start thinking about it.
Put your feelings out, see who's doing it hard, see who knows someone who is.
And I can do this as soon as next weekend. I'm willing to give a day of my life up to stream all day, any subject, you know, just to try and help out. So let's see if we can do that, eh? You know, reach out and help some Australians. You know, and if you're in Victoria at the moment, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. All right.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for the stream, Kaz.
No problems. I didn't start the fire. It's always burning since the world was turning. Thank you for supporting Lauren. Lauren is shining. You know, she's got enough content up there. You could go there now if you haven't had enough. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Exactly.
Okay. So, team, remember why we're here. It's not easy, but we love it. And you give us the distraction from the ghosts in our lives. So, fantastic. Fantastic.
I am out here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you.
We choose truth over facts.
Never go full retard. Come on, man.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being there. And thank you for being here. You know, be the best version of yourself. And think of the things that are regrets in your life. Pass that on to some others that you trust so they don't make the same mistakes. And if you're young, don't give shit to people, because you'll feel bad about it when you're older and more mature. See you later. Take it easy. And let's have a great day tomorrow. Happy Memorial Day. There's no real such thing.
No.
But memorial commemorations for those in the USA. And we've got your back. Always have. And we're thinking about you tonight. Take it easy, Jody. Love and respect.